Hey, look, my man, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing quite fine, my man, and thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate it. And you see, look, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things, and I do this so often to the point where it has become an anthem for me. So, firstly, I want to say, look, thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invested in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. They say some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, look, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I used the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, look, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes now, look, I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely moment that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing look that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to say nope to you. And getting to read a little bit about you, the amazing stuff that you're doing, the impact your work is having, your philosophies, your insight, and how you are offering your solutions. Oh boy, these stuffs are amazing. So thank you so very much for doing that yourself. And secondly, thank you so very much for being here. I truly appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So let's get started. You see, sorry. I'm quite excited to have you on the show today, Luke, for two reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Luke, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, look, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Luke on the show is for the sake of the listeners. You see, look, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, my man, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So, for that reason, Luke, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Luke got here. Then, afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Luke, my man, over to you.
You got it. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show as a guest. I'm honored to be here. I love the story of the mango tree. Mango's actually my favorite fruit, so it really resonated with me. So thank you for sharing it. Uh, so I guess the story starts. Obviously, I was born and raised in the United States. My parents actually immigrated to this country from Haiti, and so I grew up in Manhattan, and my parents had big dreams for me. I they paid for my school. I went to private school from first grade, actually all the way to college, and they wanted me to obviously get a great quality, stellar education, get a great quality, stellar job. But I had different ideas, different plans. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be self-employed. Ever since I was in college, I was always looking for a way out of the quote unquote rat race. And I tried many different things and failed at many different things. So give you a rundown. I actually first started with an MLM. I believe it was called New Skin, and that didn't go anywhere. Sort of alienated a lot of people with that, friends and family, and obviously, you know, I also tried other MLMs in the future. It didn't really work out well. I did a lot of different things. Think I tried to be good at casino gambling when it came to, also horse racing, owned the laundromat. Uh, then I ended up having to file for bankruptcy soon after that. So as you can imagine, a lot of business ventures didn't go well. But I always kept trying, um, looking for a way until I finally figured it out. I See, throughout my life, people have always complimented me on my voice, how rich, deep, melodious it is, and I had a coworker come to me and say, maybe you should do something with it. It just, can't let it go to waste, and try to find a way to monetize it. So I decided, to actually start my own podcast. And so the name of the podcast was actually called it's still going, the Deep Voice Man Show. And I interviewed many folks. I think I have 100, roughly 130 episodes. So I ended up getting a lot of listeners from 110 plus countries and 6 continents, all 50 states in the United States. So it did very well, had built up a large audience. And so I think I found the answer to the solution to my mystery. You want to, it's all about building up that fan base and finding ways to monetize that. And so it was quite a journey that had a happy ending, a quality destination. And now I'm not suggesting that everyone should go out and start a podcast, but it's all about the idea that you go out, you find your audience, you find your tribe. It doesn't have to be a large fan base. It could be 50 people each paying you $1,000. Heck, that's $50,000. I always tell people that. And so that is the key. You want to leverage the internet. The internet, I tell folks, is the great equalizer. It's sort of has decentralized, sort of democratized opportunity for us all across the world. If I tell folks, if you're not leveraging the internet far as side hustle goes, then you're really missing the boat. So you really need to get on it. So that's sort of what I help folks with, sort of coach them on. Um, I teach them how to utilize, how to harness the power of the internet to earn money, so they can quit their job and leave the rat race, so to speak, and have quite a lot of success with that. And so that is my goal. But to give you an update on what I'm doing now, just to wrap up, I have also self-published my first personal development book, and in that book, I distilled well, not all of it, but much of my knowledge in terms of personal development and self-help, growth. Also in terms of creating a side hustle. It's the first book of a series, and I'm very proud of it. So I'm just going to showcase it real fast. It's called the Life Lessons for the Deep Voice Man. It's a great book that shares a lot, contains a lot of my wisdom, and a lot of people have said that they have gained a lot from the book. It really has made them think. Again, it's all about building like that personal brand. For me, it's the deep voice man. I went out and trademarked the deep voice man. It is a process, so to speak, but I'm glad I did that. So essentially, that's my life story wrapped up in a few minutes.
Amazing. You see, one of the things that stood out for me while listening to you speak, Luke, is the fact that you were persistent and you've got this resilient spirit. You kept on trying everything, not giving up. That's amazing because I know of folks who, you know, they just tried once, it didn't work, and they gave up. And they accepted their fate and they wouldn't try anything again. They wouldn't even want to give it another try. So folks like that now, if they get to listen to our conversation, I believe your words will definitely inspire them not to give up and keep going. That's amazing. But I've still got some questions here. Can you talk to us about the P's of success? Is it the three P's of success?
Yes. When I coach folks, I tell them that the three keys to success are the three P's. So essentially, the three P's came to me after devouring tons of personal development literature out there. I mean, I've read so many books, interviewed so many successful people on my podcast, read so many blogs, seen so many YouTube videos, and on it goes. Also, the life lessons I've learned from my life experience, personal experience, and whatnot. Um, so this is how I sort of uh, came up with the three P's. So essentially, the three P's are the three keys to success. The first P is people. And out of all the P's, I would consider this one the most important. People essentially means that you want to surround yourself with the right type of folks, people that motivate you, people that encourage you, people that keep you positive, people that help you grow. You also want to seek mentors, coaches, and whatnot. And this can be done online and offline, both, of course. And you essentially want to understand what it takes to get to where you need to go. As Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. And so you want to essentially learn from these people. Now, obviously, you may not always be able to meet with them face to face, but you want to purchase their books, their courses, watch their YouTube videos, read their blogs, and whatnot to learn as much as you can from them, to learn from their mistakes so you don't have to make those same mistakes. And you want to be around the same crowd, and you want to be around the right crowd of folks who are just like you, either trying to level up or people who have leveled up and or at the level that you're trying to aspire to reach. And the second P is stands for productivity. So productivity essentially means just doing the work, just being consistent, and you do the work day in and day out, and then the magic starts to happen. You start to take advantage of the compound effect, so to speak. And I usually tell people that you always want to follow the rule of five. The rule of five means that every day you do at least five things to advance yourself towards your goals. And so, it doesn't always have to be five things, it could be two or three things, but you get the idea. You want to be consistent. You want to have a calendar where you mark it off that you did it. And so that's going to really, really help, because procrastination is something you want to kind of overcome. You know, um, you don't want to do that. It's a thief of progress. And you just always want to get moving. It's like Apollo Creed's character in the movie Rocky, I believe it was Rocky 4, um, or no, Rocky 3, excuse me, where he says, to the main character, Rocky, look, there's no tomorrow. You always want to say that to yourself. There's no tomorrow. You want to get it done now. It's so very important. So I'm all about productivity. Eat the frog, get it done, and whatnot. And so the third P is again, we have people, we have productivity, and the third P would be personality. Um, People who are winners, who are champions, they have certain personality traits, and you want to emulate those traits. Now, obviously, some of them come naturally to folks, more naturally to folks than others, but everyone could learn. So those personality traits, real fast, are grit, patience, assertiveness, confidence, courage. The list goes on and on and on. So you want to practice. If these traits are weak in you, you want to make them strong. There's many different ways to do that. Read books, consume literature on how to do that. Leverage affirmations and visualizations, act as if, and So you want to get on top of that. Now, when you apply the three P's um, to any goal, success is essentially yours. It's putty in your hands, really.
Wow, beautiful. I got that. People, productivity, and personality.
Person,
Okay, on the last
yes.
one, personality. Let's talk about self-esteem. All right. So how can someone boost their self-esteem fast? Got any insight?
Sure. So, oh, absolutely. So, the thing about self-esteem, you have to understand, obviously, people who accomplish great, phenomenal things, they tend to have a you know, high self-confidence and stuff. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Obviously, when it comes to high self-esteem, it comes naturally to some folks. Other folks have to work on it, which is okay. That's fine. Um, the key thing with self-esteem is that in order to accomplish great things, you really need to like yourself and have high self-worth. The reason why that is because if you don't if you have low self-esteem and low self-worth, you're not as likely to view yourself as worthy or as entitled uh, to the things, the wonderful things and rewards that life can give you. So, in order to have accomplish lofty goals, you need to have a lofty self-image. There's no way around it. So, people need to understand that. So, it is a process. Obviously, you want to first and foremost, I have folks leverage the power of affirmations, visualizations, and act as if. Very, very critical. I have folks also create a victory log, a compliment journal, right? And and the beauty also I should mention of affirmations is that when you recite positive affirmations to yourself, your brain is going to go into your memory bank to find positive memories to confirm those affirmations. That's the beauty of affirmations. That's why they're so strong, and that's why they're so powerful. And when you do affirm your success as something that will happen, your brain is more primed or tuned into looking for opportunities and you gain this newfound energy to sort of get it done. It really increases your self-belief, so to speak. And I also tell people that whatever you want to accomplish, there's always folks who have less talent, less capabilities than you, and who are able to accomplish it in no time flat, who are able to do it 10x. So you want to look to those folks as role models, look to those folks as trailblazers, seek coaching and accountability from those folks if possible. If they could do it, you could do it. And that inspiration leads to higher confidence, higher self-belief. So so important. So you want to stay on top of that. Um, be religious about those affirmations, those visualization exercises, and act as if very, very important. So for me, you have to understand that I really have to go out of my way to be positive in this sense because obviously, like most people, I sort of have a negativity bias. So a negativity bias means that you tend to be on the more the pessimistic side. The negative memories of your past tend to stick out more in your mind. And so, obviously, with most people's upbringing, we're always told to be humble, to never have a big head, and but this leads to people selling themselves short. Too much humility, particularly excessive humility, tends to breed self doubt. So you don't want to be too humble. You don't want to be too modest. You want to sell yourself long, not short. You got to tell yourself how great you are, and always remember all the past things, the past victories, and the great things you've done in the past that people tend to neglect or overlook or discount. Um, y- I teach folks to stop doing that.
So true, beautiful. You shouldn't sell yourself short. I got that. So to bring this to an end, Luke, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who like to reach out to you, learn more about everything we've discussed, join your programs, or even ask questions, how can that be possible?
Sure. So there's several different ways you can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and whatnot. But the best way to reach out to me, you could go to my website. My website is simple. It's thedeepvoicecoach.com. So you simply just go to the deepvoicecoach.com, and I'm offering folks a short, fast, free 5-day email course. And it's called The Everyday Man's Guide to Unlimited Success. You're going to love it. Again, if you go to deepvoicecoach.com, you can go ahead and get yourself that that email course. And that's probably the best way to reach me. If you want to email me, you can reach me at Luke, Luke, at deepvoicecoach.com. That's Luke, my first name, at deepvoicecoach.com. And again, obviously, I just want to tell you that it's been a pleasure to be on your show. Anytime a podcaster invites me on as a guest, I am humbled, honored, and blessed. Um, for you to introduce me to your audience, and to give me that kind of trust, I don't take lightly. So thank you so much for having me on. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, my man. Thank you for blessing our ears. Thank you so very much. So that's going to be the end of the show. Thank you for coming, Luke, and thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. It means a whole lot, my man. Thank you.
You got it.